5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch! Red 2 standing by with all 4 lit, and in the green, welcome back to Donkey Kong 64 as we are cruising through Crystal Cave's Barrel Blast course. We had kind of a rocky run in the previous episode. We had to deal with a really irritating rabbit who pretty much cheats. We might be aiming for that coin. And then we got the coin but missed the barrel. How'd I manage that? Then we managed to get to Crystal Caves, but unfortunately, we are having to deal with a giant kosher that sends rocks down on our heads. Like, this is a fairly beautiful level in some ways, but it just has a few disadvantages here and there. Some of the design aspects aren't that great, if I'm going to be honest. But overall, it's a very serene and relaxing level once you get rid of the stupid giant kosher. And I think that... And, like, there are some major flaws all throughout this, if I'm going to be honest. Some things that just don't quite gel particularly well. But I've been thinking about that and sort of thinking about the games I grew up playing. Oh, I'm surprised I got that one. We've all had... Oh no! Just too fast. And this one is so arduous. But yeah, I've just been thinking back to sort of the games I grew up with and sort of how everything has changed over time, how technology has developed, how the world of video games has moved on. I mean, at the time, this probably would have had some pretty cutting-edge graphics. There would have been quite a few features which actually were fairly impressive, even if it was a bit of a marathon when it comes to trying to get everything. And there we go, we get to listen to DK screaming constantly. But it's definitely interesting to see what's changed and what hasn't, and how we look at games when they're compared to sort of everything that has moved on. Now, there are certain elements of society which obviously we should never go back to. But there are some things which also wind up looking very different because of the way society evolves. And at the same time, some elements of video games are like that. As we've developed technology, I think perhaps, it's my opinion anyway, that we've maybe got a little bit too desperate to have all the fancy graphics and things like that. Like, it's a bit of a Cranky Kong moment for me. That, like, I grew up with games that really didn't have to worry about all those cutting-edge graphics. It wasn't like everything didn't have to be in 4K. You were kind of lucky if Mario's butt didn't look ridiculously polygonal and things like that. Okay, how did all those shots go through that guy? Or am I just bad?
Welcome to bonus stage.
But yeah, there were lots and lots of elements about these older games that really... Wait, some of them appear to go through them at point-blank range. This is going to be tough.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I might have to go into concentration mode here, which means unfortunately I go quiet. Are those actually hitting the target? I'm actually starting to... I mean, I know I... I know I'm an awful shot, but some of these are actually going through the target.
Welcome to bonus stage.
At least it feels like that.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Mind you, this is a joke when you get cheats and you get homing ammo. Here we go. I think we've got a good rhythm. Mash the fire button. Keep them off my tail. Hope for the best. Yeah, at close range. Because that guy was standing there for about 3 seconds before he actually hit me. At close range, DK's gun actually pokes through them. I wasn't going mad. Wait, no, 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 no! Like, with Chunky, the game, it didn't matter. Chunky was easy mode because Chunky's shots killed them in one go. Thank God. On today's episode of things taking way longer than they should have because of really poor mechanics, that one's a nightmare because Donkey's gun actually goes through them at point blank range. If the Kremlings actually get in close, you can't get rid of them because the gun just doesn't hit them. The shots actually go through, and I'm not making this up. I wish I was. I wish I could just say that I was just being salty or something like that, but no, the shots actually don't go through. Well, the shots actually go through. They wind up going through the Kremlings. Now, where on earth is where... Please, surface. Where on earth is where I need to go? Because I have to get to where the igloo is. And that's the problem with this level. Everywhere starts to look the same. Where am I going? Is it this way? Please tell me it's this way. It's this way, thank heavens. So yeah, I was intending to actually be talking about various video games, sort of those nostalgia trips, the effects that all those classic games have had, and why I still think it's okay to like them in spite of their flaws, that you always should. But it's gone absolutely haywire. We're getting murdered by rocks. We're having to deal with ridiculous shooting controls and bad hitboxes. It's a bit of a problem. It's really thrown me off, but don't worry, there's plenty of frustration involved in quite a lot of things, in all fairness. Now, where's a tag barrel? Right in front of me, actually. Noticed it just as I was saying it. There's a lot of... I think there's a lot of frustration involved in older games because a lot of them, well, they didn't have really polished mechanics per se. Like, not everything had been perfectly refined and so on. Which is fair enough because there were still lots and lots of things to work out. Now we get up here. And there is our giant kosher. Get ourselves coins. And the music just plays because... Don't fall off here or you actually do die. But at long last, we've taken care of the significant irritation which plagues crystal caves. This kosher stays dead. We don't have any problems from now on. We can actually go through crystal caves with a music glitch. Fantastic. Oh boy, that should tell you what sort of day I'm having. Maybe if I go into the tag barrel? Much, much better. Oh boy, that is the sort of day I've been having. Sometimes you just have those recording sessions which really are one of those days. Wait, whose splat is that up there? Is that Chunky's? That is Chunky's, but we need Diddy to open up the doors to this igloo. Now that I've got this done, I might actually be able to get near Cranky's and get those bananas we saw for Lanky. I want to go and get the extra melon before I do a few things over here because, well, there's a bit of a problem. I don't know if they actually were supposed to put Strong Kong in there, but there's an ice maze for DK that is really tough to do with 2 melons. Like, each hit on the rotating wall takes off 1 melon. So you kind of need all 3, because I don't know if you were meant to have Strong Kong or not, because that would admittedly make it fairly easy, but as it stands, it's fairly irritating. Guess we may never know. Now we get up here and line ourselves up with our bananas. Last time we got punctured. Isn't it nice to not have to deal with that stupid kosher? The music is just not cooperating today. I think it's going to be a very long time, probably next session, before I wind up taking on that stupid beetle. Because, in all fairness, that's not going to do my sanity any favours. It's already taken quite a hit from having to deal with not only the rabbit, but DK's busy barrel barrage. It's an interesting problem. DK has a bigger hitbox, and as a result, when his gun sticks, as I said, when those enemies get close, his gun actually sticks through them. So the shots will still fire, but they'll go through your enemies. I do have to be diving. So we'll get the rest of these bananas. We'll stop by Candy's. And we can actually do a few things over here. Cruise along slowly. Should be about 10 bananas under here. But yeah, there are so many things that, like, in older games that probably come across as incredibly frustrating. Now, with some of these things, as I've said before, that was just how difficulty worked in the old days, because you wanted people to keep playing. You wanted people to basically give up all their quarters or whatever was used in the arcade and keep trying. So you basically had to overcome a whole lot of odds stacked against you in order to succeed. So quite often and they didn't always sort of crack getting it right in a lot of other games. So basically what you got was kind of dodgy, really. It wasn't real difficulty. Like, Busy Barrel Barrage on its own is a good test of your skill. How quickly you can move. How quickly you can hit those shots. Can you keep people off your back? That's not a bad test of difficulty. And I do legitimately miss a lot of the time. It's just that if you actually are in a situation where your shots are actually going through your enemies at point blank range, it just sort of makes it a little bit, well, unnecessarily difficult, let's say. We can keep Lanky because Lanky actually has something to do around this area, right over the other side. There's a cabin DK can go into on his own, and there's one for Lanky with the Orangutan Sprint. We'll probably want to wipe out the cautious. So, I really do think that there is to a degree, some fair difficulty in older games. I'd probably be willing to agree with that. but quite a lot of it is also pretty stupid as well. Lanky's Kasplat is in a completely different location. I think we specifically need the rocket barrel to activate the warp. If we go over here, we've got the hut for Lanky, which conveniently just needs Baboon Balloon to get onto. And away we go. So yeah, difficulty is always going to be one of those things that's kind of hard to get right, because there are lots and lots of different ways to provide difficulty, but not all of them are legitimate tests of skill depending on who you ask. I suppose it's up to the individual, and even then you have to factor in, are games genuinely being made easier? In fairness, there is much more of a casual audience involved in games. Oh, there is another one. Might as well get rid of that. Get up to the orangutan sprint. Because there's the thing, you do need to have some provisions for making things easier as casual audiences. Jeez Louise. As casual audiences get more involved in gaming, not everybody is going to be able to devote time and effort into games, and sometimes you just want a bit of fun in your games. Because it's no skin off my nose that sucks! Okay, couldn't get the 2 for 1. There we go, now we got it. But, of course, yeah, that's kind of a trap. But yeah, I do think we need that sort of balance of casual and challenge, because, like, when it comes to people in my generation at least, we're probably going to have a bit more experience with things, and games are going to be less difficult because we know what we're doing. Even when we have... like, probably the best way to put it is that the years of experience help make things easier for us because we know what we're doing. We have so much experience we can draw on compared to a lot of other people that we're going to find things easier by nature, for the most part, unless of course we wind up getting a bit rusty and there are janky mechanics involved and things like that, but even then we can overcome the janky mechanics with some good skill. But yeah... so yeah, that's probably... so frustration over, I guess. Like, this isn't truly irritating. It's easy to get a bit frustrated with things along the way. I'll concede that. But it's not... I'm not sure where to go with this, in all fairness. Now, let's get the actual battle arena done. I'll give it a bit more on this particular episode. We've got plenty of Kasplats coming in to give us grief. So we're basically going to have to use DK's standard combo. But we'll have to keep on the move and watch out for those Kasplats. Ooh, nearly got nailed with the shockwave. This is obviously so much easier. I can't get the gun out. Whoop. No! Oh, and it sends me all the way back here. Mild irritation. But yeah, like there are lots of things that I think were done right in my generation of games. There are lots of things... yeah, sometimes you wind up getting the image of your character going dark. Like, there are lots of things that I do... Ugh. Lots of things I think were done right. I know it seems weird to say, but I think there was a bit more charm in a lot of older games. There are still charming games out there. Now you just have to look at Yoshi's Woolly World and Yoshi's Crafted World and say Kirby's Epic Yarn, for example. Let's take care of them. Yeah, there are lots and lots of opportunities to find charm and engagement in video games. They're still there, but sometimes I feel that that charm is getting a bit lost. Because, like, it was something I experienced and talked about with the Mario Golf Super Rush. There's just something missing. It doesn't feel like the games I've played. I'd probably be... A lot of newer games probably have the difficulty right for newer players. They've got... Don't send me off the edge. Whoa, that was close. But yeah, I think a lot of newer games do tend to have the difficulty balance right to a degree. Sometimes they may make things more focused on casual players without considering that the veterans might like a bit of a challenge as well. I think Pokemon's been like that. But I think there's... In a way... Oh, that didn't help. In a way, I think a lot of I think there's a fair bit of charm missing in a lot of games. At least so I think. I'm perhaps being a bit of an old man on that one. Let's see. Oh, I wasn't smart about that one, was I? I'm gonna have to go out and do this again. There's a good rhythm to this one that I've messed up. See, I'm so busy being grumpy and trying to find the negatives in things. I'm so frazzled sort of about this, everything that went on with trying to get things done just so, that I've unfortunately lost a bit of my rhythm. Okay, so we're looking for Chunky, who is still in the middle. How did that not work? Right. This one... Okay, so I can't do a quick ground pound. I just have to take a little bit of time to be patient. Am I gonna have enough time for this? The transition's gonna screw me over. That's about as well as my day is going. That really sums it up, doesn't it? I've wound up being far too negative and I've been thrown out of the game for my troubles. What has gone on? Where am I? I'm in the void. I'm in... Oh, what have I done? Alright, I get it. I will try and be more positive. Like, Blimey. What happens if I wander off into the void anyway? Or am I just stuck here? Where's the exit? Maybe if I line myself up with the exit? The exit's off this way somewhere. There we are. Oh, we're back at the start. Oh boy. Well, I'll keep going for a little bit longer, try to get a bit more done, and hopefully have some positive concepts to bring up, because, like, sometimes I feel that I am getting a little bit too negative on a lot of things. I admit there's a bit of frustration with difficulty and things like that, and sometimes some things don't wind up being difficult for what you think are the right reasons. That much is a bit of a problem, but I suppose I'd be lying if I said that games these days didn't have charm to them. There are still plenty of games which do, it's just that when a series doesn't necessarily have that charm and it's had it before, it's very noticeable. I think you'd agree on that one. Like, Mario Golf Super Rush, it doesn't have the charm, the wacky charm we know from, like, Toadstool Tour. Toadstool Tour is brilliant. And I do think, in a way, we need to be willing to take a few more risks, because it's nice and easy to play it safe. You can wind up making a game that is essentially exactly what you want from a game. But like I've said, it's like wallpaper. It's a game you buy by the yard, in a sense. It's sort of the same thing, essentially, it's essentially like, almost like Rise of Skywalker was. It was Star Wars by the yard. It was just sort of there. It wasn't anything special. It did the bare minimum. And it's sad when things do that, because we know that so many developers have so much creativity. I was disappointed with Super Rush because I felt that there was so much more which could be done. Does DK have a log? Does DK have some bananas in the large? He does have one in the large log cabin over here. So I'll get a couple of these done, and then we can probably wind up calling it quits for a little bit. Or at least I'll move on to the next episode. Because I have no idea exactly what's going on with the time, but... Alright, trapdoors. And zingers, do we have any homing ammunition? Ooh. This is actually kind of tough. Alright. Spray. It's a bit of spray and pray. Never hurt anyone except the people who get hit by the spraying part. I think I have to kill all the zingers for a gold banana, and I don't think there's any homing ammo in here either. I'm sure they have a set pattern, but... Oh, I got one of them. I saw how well this worked out in the fungi forest. Now, if only there was homing ammo in here. I think there's only homing ammo in fungi forest. Also, by the way, those are instant death. So I'm gonna wait. Oh. There we go. I didn't realize there was actually homing ammo in here. Well, my face is a bit red. We've nearly got everything done for Donkey Kong. Not too shabby. Just got to get that blueprint, which we can do since it is near the ice castle. That's the way we... Yeah, we'll be able to grab that pretty easily. I'll probably head out and do that. I think there's a couple of banana ports which only really serve to unlock certain pickups for certain Kongs in this. Crystal Caves is pretty simple in terms of areas, but it's just kind of fiddly to navigate because everything looks the same. Bit of a bother, but, well, you could design the level with a little bit more clarity. I mean, even the cave levels in... even the cave levels in Donkey Kong Country had sort of clearer level design now. We're wanting to go the other way, aren't we? Oh, well, that tells you how well everything's going. Got spam callers all over the place. I fell down a pit. Oh boy, yeah, it's just been one of those days today. I decided I could come in and actually talk about whatever I needed to without a plan. I wanted to talk about the games from my past and things like that, and how I feel things have changed and how things have stayed the same, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, and so on. I think I need to go this way. And I really do wish I had better topics, but instead it's devolved into a mountain of frustration. Which is honestly a bit sad, because there's still been a lot to enjoy in all this. Like, Crystal Caves does have some really, really beautiful challenges along the way, and it's got some great scenery. There are some really nice ideas along the way. I don't want to go over there just yet. Oh, no! That's what I want to do. There we are. Let's see. We are just about done. We got that last gold banana for DK. What is his last gold? Yes, it's the igloo. So I'll come back to that. Oh, we've got... yeah. So what I'll do, I'll probably wind this one up for now. And we'll head back to that log cabin with the other Kongs. Get Diddy going, do a couple of things with him. Thank you very much for joining me, though. Even if things have been a bit incoherent. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.